I was really into a lot of really punk stuff really early in my life. I had some older friends and they were all skaters and I was a skater. And it sort of, made sense to listen to like Minor Threat and Fugazi and, like other bands too, like Operation Ivy was a band I was really into when I was in middle school. And then, I started writing music for the guitar and, everything I was writing was a lot more sensitive. And I had a friend who was really into Modest Mouse and he introduced them to me. A record that was really inspirational to me, and all of us for that matter, is from a band that needs no introduction, Modest Mouse. They've put out a ton of records. They would eventually bring us Float On, and everyone would know their name. But Lonesome Crowded West is a record that is really long, has a lot of emotional songwriting, a lot of variety of songs, and I've always liked that about that.
But on top of that too, there's really unique musicianship, and they have their own style, which is really cool to hear. There's this guitar trick that's all over the record that it sounds like hitting a harmonic with a overdrive pedal on, and it sounds like pulling up on a whammy bar rather than diving on it. It's it's really cool, and no other band has really done that, and probably would be able to do it since then. It's like a unique Modest Mouse trick that is really cool and all over that record.
And looking back on that record is the time period it came out in, there's a lot of stuff that was new that a lot of people weren't doing. He's not the most sing-songy guy, so it always sounds like he's yelling, especially on that record, and that's something that I always liked. I'm like, this guy just doesn't even care about the notes. He's just kind of trying to get the feel of it. And there's a lot of weird, sort of like dance beats, like disco beats on that record, which, everyone started doing that later on, but I think it's really cool to hear a song like Doing the Cockroach, which is basically just a really fast, sounds like a dance song on speed.
Yeah, it's a really live feeling record though too. They're dance beats, but they're not. It doesn't have dance production. It feels like a very live punk record and has.
Yeah, it feels very small and vulnerable, but what they're going for is. And even with the syncopated guitar riffs, like on that one, like dun 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 dun, like stuff like that. I don't know, stuff that probably a lot of people around them would have thought was really cheesy at the time. I was listening to a lot of like punk stuff, like really hardcore, and to me, kind of always starting to sound really similar, and just that I heard that I'm like, wow, this is like really different and really creative, and it was really melodic, which is the thing, I got into that and Dinosaur Jr. around that time, and I'm like, oh, these are punk bands that have really melodic things that get stuck in my head, but it still has like that attitude and sort of like that, kind of slack feel to it, which I was really attracted to. So it definitely informed a lot of my guitar playing. A lot of the stuff I was writing at the time had a lot of harmonics and stuff that you might recognize from that.
As a band, we actually have just jammed around before, and the riffs for Teeth Like God's Shoe Shine. And we actually did a cover set once in our hometown just for fun of just a bunch of various bands at a local club. And one of the songs we covered was Trailer Trash by Modest Mouse, which, off that record. We actually got to play Sasquatch a couple of years ago where they headlined as well, which was awesome. And there were a couple of Lonesome Crowded West songs. I remember the first song was actually Shit Luck.
Yeah, that was great. It's one of those bands that sort of eluded me forever seeing live. I've gotten really lucky the past few years and seen a lot of my idols live, but that's one band who we never really played a show with, so that was actually my first time seeing them, as, I guess now, 12 years after I got into them, so that was really nice. And we met Jeremiah Green backstage, and he was every bit as strange as we expected him to be, and it was just,
Didn't he give one of you, like, a flower or something?
He gave me a dandelion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told us, wow, most bands really scare me and weird me out, but you guys seem like you're okay. And sure enough, someone from another band that we knew waved to us from across the place, and we turned and we said hi, and we turned back. He was already gone. He'd already disappeared. I'm like, well, I figured he might kind of be like that. So, but yeah, he was really special.